These are RotoWire 6 running backs primed to break out in 2025. Let's help you win your fantasy football league before it even starts. We're starting out with Quinshon Judkins of the Cleveland Browns. Second round draft pick, 5'11", 221 pounds. Feature back size. Now I understand Quinshon Judkins shared the work with Travion Henderson at Ohio State University. But that said, I am not worried about this backfield. Dylan Sampson got picked later in the draft, got some change of pace carries. Jerome Ford took a pay cut immediately after the draft. Quinshon Judkins with that draft capital will be the centerpiece of the running game. But why am I excited about Judkins breaking out in this offense? They have not been good. Here's the deal. When they inherited Deshaun Watson and paid him all that money a number of years back, the offense changed in Cleveland. Kevin Stefanski, the coach, had to go to a 3-receiver set, spread things out. The running game suffered. Well, this year, they're going to use a fullback, Troy Hairston. They drafted another tight end, Harold Fannin. It looks to me like Kevin Stefanski is going to get back to his roots as a run game guru. The offensive line, not the elite group it was a few years ago, but still there's talent along that line. And Judkins will be the player to take advantage of that. He has the ability to also be a pass catcher, although he might share a little work there. But going as the running back 23 in drafts, Quinshon Judkins should have every opportunity to finish inside the top 20 running backs and break out as a rookie. Next, we go to Jordan Mason of the Minnesota Vikings. Jordan Mason did really well with the 49ers last year, and it was encouraging because even though the 49ers always put together a good run game, they were all kinds of injured on offense. Their all-world left tackle Trent Williams missed a ton of time. They had issues across the offensive line with blocking. Jordan Mason, 5.2 yards per carry, 78th percentile broken tackle rate, 87th percentile yards after contact. He was the real deal when he took over for Christian McCaffrey. That said, he comes to Minnesota. Why do I like him here when Aaron Jones is in that same backfield? Aaron Jones had a fumbling issue last year, so Jordan Mason has a great chance of grabbing the goal line work. He should get heavy work on early downs. Now, he's probably not taking the passing down work away from Aaron Jones, and I understand that. But Mason should have a real role. Remember, this Minnesota Vikings team has been trying to add talent on defense, and I think they're at the point now where they've added enough where their coach Brian Flores can get them to play with some leads, which means they will run the ball more. Well, why do they want to pass? J.J. McCarthy hasn't played a snap in the NFL, missed last year with a knee injury. To me, this team invested in free agency at center, right guard, the draft first round, added another guard to 2 elite tackles they have. This team is getting built to ground and pound. Jordan Mason makes his full breakout this season. Next, Cam Skattebo, New York Giants. Yes, 4th round pick. Yes, day 3 pick. But come on, he was the 3rd pick of the day 3 draft, an inch away from being a day 2 pick. That said, powerful runner, great vision, pass blocks. Might be able to get some passing down work because of that pass blocking ability. Now, Tyrone Tracy's there, and he was the fantasy football darling early last year. But remember, Tyrone Tracy did really well from weeks 5 through 10. 16 rushes a game, 5.4 yards per carry. The Giants saw what he was after that bye. After week 11 bye, those 16 rushes a game went down to 12. The yards per carry that were 5.4 went down to 3.46. Tracy will see some passing down work. Cam Skattebo will be the early down and goal line runner, and he will mix into the receiving game as well. Giants are not going to be a great team, but they are going to try to work on that revamped defense. They keep adding pieces there in the front 7, hoping the secondary holds up. Cam Skattebo should get enough work to have a rookie year breakout. Hey, if you're enjoying this breakdown, take a second, hit like and subscribe. It helps us keep the fantasy advice coming to you. And if you want even more of RotoWire's tools, rankings, and insights, we got a 15% discount just for our YouTube viewers. You go to RotoWire.com, choose your subscription, and use the code YouTube15 at checkout. Next, we've got Jaydon Blue, Dallas Cowboys. I know we got a heavy rookie flavor here in the breakouts, but hey, Jaydon Blue may not be the greatest running back in the world, but you hear me say this year after year. Volume is king in fantasy football. In terms of the depth chart, Javonte Williams. Yes, he can pass block, but his pass protection won't get him on early downs. And it may not even keep him on passing downs. because Javonte Williams fails to break tackles at a high rate, fails to get yards after contact. Jaydon Blue may be a 5th-round pick, but he has an easy path to see significant work. Elusive, shifty, playmaker, sharp cuts, acceleration, great hands out of the backfield. Dallas offensive line, not world beaters, but they are investing in it through the draft. This line could be decent. Jaydon Blue's going to be a player that's going to see not too many loaded boxes as defenses worry about CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson. Jaydon Blue has a real chance to volume and that great rookie breakout season we rarely see from a 5th-round draft pick. Next, Brashard Smith, Kansas City Chiefs. Now, you might have to wait on Smith a little bit because Andy Reid's offense is often difficult for rookies to pick up. Sometimes we see like Xavier Worthy, the wide receiver. Last year, he really kicked in the second half of the season. Remember back Rashee Rice a couple of years ago. It wasn't right away. It took him some time. That was even post-week 10. Rashee Rice really got hot. Brashard Smith, running back. Jerick McKinnon's been gone from that team for a while now. Jerick McKinnon had a really exciting receiving role out of the backfield. Well, guess what? Brashard Smith, not just a running back, but he has wide receiver background from his college days. This young man would be a perfect McKinnon replacement, and we know that the Chiefs are always willing to weaponize gadget plays, special pass plays to those running backs. They love that. And Brashard Smith could not be a better fit. You're getting him around running back 60 in drafts. But again, as long as you could stash him, because I see that breakout coming in the second half, but it's going to be a fun one to watch. Finally, Keaton Mitchell, Baltimore Ravens. Oh, you remember a couple of years ago, 2023, Keaton Mitchell broke out onto the scene. He was getting 10 touches a game. On those 10 touches, it was 90 scrimmage yards a game. 8.4 yards per carry. Yeah, I know nobody's repeating 8.4 yards per carry. I get it. But he injured his ACL at the end of that hot start in 2023. And then last year, played a few snaps, clearly was not recovered. We've heard it from John Harbaugh. We've heard it from Keaton Mitchell. He is back to full health. And guess what? He gets to change the pace for Derrick Henry. That level of explosive runner behind Henry. And Henry plays about 52% of the snaps. There is work available. And we knew how Keaton Mitchell really impressed his coach. He's going to get an opportunity here. And that opportunity might be 8 to 10 touches a game. But man, on those touches, again, you're not going to see 8 yards a carry, but you are going to see some big-time explosive playmaking. And we don't ever want Derrick Henry to miss time. But if that were to happen, Keaton Mitchell could be a gold mine as well. Breakout might not be this full season massive numbers, but when he's on the field, that breakout's going to be apparent to the eye as you watch him score in your flex spot in fantasy football leagues.